Everybody. Welcome to our series of Inspiring HSE Leaders. I am thrilled to have you all join us for today. What promised to be an enlightening and inspiring conversation. My name is Vedat, and I'm honored to be your host for this section. Today, we have the speaking with Helmut EHNES, a distinguished figure in the field of health, safety, and environment. With over 35 years experience, Helmut has made significant contribution to German statutory accident insurance scheme and has played a pivotal role in the development and implementation of Vision Zero strategy, which aims to foster a culture of prevention in workplaces globally. Before we dive in our discussion, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the entire team, or volunteers, and all estimated guests. Your dedication and support have made our projects to be honored by some award ceremonies. We are very happy. Now, without further ado, let's welcome Helmut EHNES. Helmut, thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure, my honor. Nice to be here.
Thank you very much. Helmut, could you start by introducing yourself and giving us a brief overview of your background and career journey?
Oh, yeah, introduce myself. Who am I? I enjoy life. I am a happy man in a critical world and a challenging world. And why? Because I'm married. I have a wonderful wife. I have 2 kids, grown-up kids. I have a dog at home, and I have a nice garden. And in my work career, I always had the privilege to have a content. So I worked for people, for human beings all my life. And I tried to do the best I could. Now I'm a mechanical engineer. I started in my first job at the TUV in Cologne. I was in an international cooperation project at this time. And then I joined the German social accident insurance scheme and have been educated as a labor inspector, I would translate it. We have a dual system in Germany, so we have state inspectors and we have inspectors from the social accidents insurance scheme, and I'm one of them. And so I went to the mines, to the quarries in southern part of Germany and inspected them and tried to bring advice. So that was my first experience. And I remember one day I had my boss at this time told me, Helmut, you must do a seminar, a training for our employers. And in a special part of Germany, we had a lot of Turkish employers who are members of our organization. And so that was an experience to have the social background of this Turkish employers. Later, I moved to the northern part of Germany, and I got the leadership and the management position in this social accidents insurance scheme. And finally, we had a big merger of the system. And then I was the head of the prevention department of BGRCI, which is the social accidents insurance provider for raw materials, for mining, for chemical industry. So we insured 34,000 companies with 1.5 million workers, all of them working in high-risk surrounding and companies. And in parallel, I had the chance to move on the international platform and joined to some work for the ISA, for the International Social Security Association. So this is in brief my career at the workplace.
Yeah, so nice. Um, you have spoken about the ISA in the past. Could you tell us a bit more about ISA's role in prevention and its impact on global health and safety standards?
Yeah, it's a pleasure. I don't know if our attendees know about ISA. ISA is the International Social Security Association. It's located in Geneva in Switzerland, and it is a United Nations sub-organization. And in the field of accident and disease prevention at workplaces, we have the scheme of 14 prevention sections in the ISA. So mining is one of the oldest one, construction is an old one, and the youngest one is the trade section for global trade for the supply chains. And with this network of these 14 sections, we try to bring good practices to the workplaces, to our member companies, to our member organizations, and share knowledge all around the world, because anywhere in the world you have a solution for a problem. So you must not reinvent the wheel. Just use and copy the solution and share what the experience from others. So, and I would like to invite everybody who is interested to become a member of one of those sections. So the strength is the network we have. And as I'm the president of the mining section, of course, everything to do with mining, open cast, underground mining, oil and gas mining, quarries, cement production, cement industry. These are our members. We have about 140 members, and everybody is welcome to join. And I would say it is affordable.
Yeah, thank you. I think also ISA groups is very useful for all of us, for companies, for the all the organizations, and I also invite everybody. And my third question is about, from your perspective, what are the biggest challenge currently facing in the field of occupational health and safety?
Yeah, we have, I think sometimes we can feel we have increasing challenges, not improving situation. If we look around to our wonderful blue planet, we have only one planet. Yeah, we
Yeah,
have, what do we have? We have climate change, we have war and violence, we have hunger, we have migration. So these are the big questions. And in this scenery, we still are looking in the globalization. Also, the world today is connected. We cannot limit it to one small country. Everything is connected. And we are looking for the best way to improve safety and health of workers at workplaces. But we still have to face a huge number of accidents, of diseases, and we lose so much money because we have bad working conditions. So I think this is the scenery where we are facing and where we all work in.
yeah, you are right. You are widely recognized for your work with Vision Zero. Why Vision Zero? Can you share with us the story behind this initiative and what inspired this creation?
Yeah, as I mentioned, I have my background, my first experience as labor inspector, and looking back to this time in the 80s, we had to go to every member company once a year to inspect it and to advise it, and we gave them a list of points to improve. And 1 year later, we came and we had the same complaints. Yeah, so that was nothing sustainable. And that was all the thinking. What do we have to do to make it more sustainable, what we are doing? All the safety and health experts in the workplaces, the inspectors, we are all connected, and we work on the same issue, on the same item. And so we made a decision in Germany, also after our merger in 2010, that we need a new approach, a new strategic approach to bring the message to the platform of the workplaces. And we were looking around, and I was thinking, should we create a new strategy? Because we have so many slogans, so many campaigns, and we said, no, we take this Vision Zero concept, which has been used in road safety already, and we transfer it to the workplace.
Yeah.
And because I really believe we make people crazy if we come every year with a new campaign, with a new wording. We speak not the same voices. So that was the motivation to take the Vision Zero concept, which is probably developed at the first time by Mr. Dupont 200 years ago. And he was the first employer who started with this concept. So I said, let's take this concept, this strategy for our new approach. And we implemented it in Germany, in my responsibility field, and we implemented it globally. So not to have different approaches internationally and locally.
Yeah, thank you very much. Very good answer. Also, I want to add something. In gas stations, as a subcontractor, we work with different companies, and they've got different stories, different rules, and different slogans, different advertisements for the workplace. So it is so hard for our workers to follow all the rules, equipments, using equipments, and also following these details. So this is very useful, and also very clear for the all the workers and workplaces. I want to say also thank to you for this vision. And Vision Zero includes the well-known seven golden rules for a prevention culture at workplaces. Why did you choose these specific rules, and what makes them so effective?
Yeah, Vedat, you are so right if you say everybody is requesting different things to the same workers. And I think this is one of the biggest challenges we have, and the biggest mistakes we make in our days. We still make them, that everybody looks only to his own sector. Yeah, we don't cooperate, we don't collaborate enough. Because more or less we all want the same, but we confuse the workers and the managers. And what is the effect of all of these different approaches? The effect is that the managers of a small company say, no, that's too complicated for me. I delegate it to anywhere. I cannot understand it. I cannot do all this bureaucratic issue by myself. So why 7 golden rules? This is an interesting story. I first spoke about 7 golden rules in a conference in Vietnam, in Asia. And the reason was my boss at this time, everybody has a boss, yeah? My boss at this time, he told me, Helmut, you have such a wide knowledge, you are really intelligent, but what you tell here to the audience is much too complicated. I don't understand it. He was a lawyer, yeah? I'm an engineer, he was a lawyer. So you must make it in a different way. My first reaction was, what a crazy boss I have. Yeah? But finally, I thought, maybe he is not wrong. Yeah? we have thousands of paragraphs, and the challenge or the problem we have in all the countries is not the legislation, because most of the countries, they have a legislation, one copies it from the other country, so this is all there, and all the standards and all the ISO standards and what else. So we have thousands of paragraphs, and the 7 golden rules is my way to reduce it, to make it simple for the brain, for the common sense of managers, and to make it emotional. So it is a way to keep it simple with emotion, and to just to send the message: safety, health, and well-being is not complicated. You just must open your eyes, and you must feel with your emotion, with your heart, and then you see maybe 95% of unsafe or unhealthy conditions. And for the rest of the other 5%, you need expertise. You need experts in place. So this is a translation of all the legislation and all the experience we collected over the years. What makes safety, health, and well-being successful? And it's addressed to management teams, to the CEO, because it has to start at the top of every company and cannot be delegated to any expert.
Yeah, sure. And I want to remind to our audience, they can ask their questions at the end of this interview. We are waiting their questions, and we will ask. It will be more effective and more valuable. Please ask your questions on YouTube Live and also LinkedIn, our event. So my next question: how can companies benefit from implementing the Vision Zero strategy? What practical tools and resources are available to help them?
Yeah. We came up with this idea, and we promoted Vision Zero. We promoted 7 golden rules, and there was a lot of applause, and people were enthusiastic, and they said, yes, this is what we have to do. But the next question was the same you ask me now: what shall we do? Yeah. So
Yeah.
we developed, and that was maybe the first phase of the Vision Zero initiative, of a movement. We developed a lot of tools. So we have a toolbox, and all our tools are open source tools. They are free, available. They can be downloaded from the Vision Zero .global website.
Yeah.
They are, we have the address here, and they are available in many languages. So this is available. We started with our Vision Zero guide. This is a kind of checklist, and it's a collection of best practices from about 1,000 people who shared their practice. Labor inspectors, safety engineers, physicians, and managers. And we asked them, what works? What do you do in order to guarantee safety and health? And this is the collection. So there is one page of checkpoints for every golden rule. So it's not a long document. Yeah. It's an easy to use document. You can use it for self-assessment. You can use it, you can give it to the workers, and you can give it to the management team, and then compare the answers, and you will be surprised. Most of the time, the managers think everything is in place, everything is fine, but it does not reach out to the real workplaces. So it's a difference between, there is a gap here. And then we started with that, and then we have a guideline, a version for the very small companies, and we can offer help and advice by the network of the sections. We defined proactive leading indicators, because we think just using accident figures and disease figures is not enough. We have to look back, but we also have to look forward. And this is can be done with the leading indicators. So there are 2 indicators for every golden rule. And yeah, we organize, we have training, and then we have one guideline for the environmental questions. So the company industrial environment protection, because the Organization of Safety and Health Professionals of Europe came and said, this is the same, can we use the same structure for managing the environmental protection? And we said fantastic, yeah? Because if we use the same network, the same system, it's much better than to develop 10 new rules or 12 new rules, whatever. And the youngest documents is that we have a document on the well-being at the workplace. And well-being stands for psychological health. So it's an extra focus on this psychosocial health challenges. And we have a guideline for global supply chains. And we have a guideline for the labor inspectors, because we want to offer a tool for every stakeholders, because all of them must cooperate and collaborate.
Yeah, sure. Exactly. And what has the feedback been like from companies and industries that have adapted to Vision Zero approach? Could you share some stories, success stories, or notable examples?
Yeah. So in general, when we had the global launch of Vision Zero, that was 2017, there was such a good mood, emotion in the big conference hall. And very quickly, we had more than 20,000 supporters who committed to Vision Zero, and you still can commit to Vision Zero if you go to the Vision Zero website. So the feedback is very good from companies, from experts, from politicians. It has been at the G7 and G20 meeting. So I think it has the potential to bring people really together. Maybe I can tell you 2 success stories. One is from Germany. In the German coal mining industry, they implemented all these elements of the 7 golden rules. And finally, to work in a coal mine underground in black surrounding was safer than to work in the Deutsche Bank, in the bank office. So it showed to us that it is possible to work without accidents, without diseases in every surrounding. And a second example I would like to tell you is a very young example. End of last year, we had the World Congress in Sydney. Yeah. And in the mining symposium, a manager from a gold mine of Colombia came to me and said, we found it in the internet. We have not been aware of ISA and all of this. They just found it. And we introduced it. And in 1 year, we could reduce our lagging indicators, our accident rate, by half, by 50%. So this is a fantastic result, a fantastic feedback. Exactly. Sometimes we need more of these feedbacks because it's open source. We get not always the reports from all the users. So, yeah. But I'm convinced it is very much in use in nearly every country. But still, we have a long way to go.
Yeah, I wish also. And some questions coming. I am asking my last questions. What are the next steps regarding the implementation and expansion of Vision Zero? Are there any new initiatives or strategies on the horizon?
Yeah, as I told you, the first phase was in developing all the tools.
Yeah,
And I think the coming phase is more on implementation.
yeah,
And I think we have two challenges, two approaches to implement it. The first is, of course, you have to implement it in any company. So this is possible, and we have a recommendation. We have 12 steps to implement it. So we give some guidance to how to implement it, but any situation is different in any company. So I think you must find your own way using the tools. But if you want to get a feedback, you can have a look to our 12 steps. And the second way we want to go is to establish it, to implement it on the country level side. It cannot be done from Geneva to the whole world. We need partners in the different countries. We need Vision Zero national strategies. We need round tables in the different countries. So where every stakeholder group can sit on the same table, everybody has a role. We don't want observers. We want active partners on the table. And then it can be a success story. We have already good examples for this industry or national strategies. From Germany, we have an example very recently developed in Pakistan with a big province there. And we are developing one in Africa for Senegal. Maybe other countries will follow. So I think this are the two ways to implement it in the companies and in the country levels.
yeah, exactly. Thank you very much. And my ninth question: looking ahead, what consideration do you see as critical for the future of occupational health and safety? How can we continue to improve and adapt in an ever-changing work environment?
Yeah, I want to mention 3 points. First of all, I think we must stop thinking in silos only.
Yeah,
We must really collaborate and cooperate all together beyond borders, beyond sectors. This is an observation that everybody is only focused in his own field, and we must look to the right and to the left. The second thing I would like to mention is, as long as we start with workplace safety and health, when people arrive at workplaces, we will never be successful. It is too late. So we must bring it to the education system. Everybody should learn at school Vision Zero and the 7 golden rules. Everybody should learn in the vocational training about this. Everybody who goes to university, not only the engineers, should learn about these basic concepts to interact with human beings. Yeah, this is the concept behind. And so I think we must bring it to the curricula of engineers, of economists, of lawyers. Anybody has to learn it, has to have a basic knowledge. They must not be experts, but they must have a basic knowledge. And finally, I think, let us bring this idea of saving lives to our societies, to the human beings in our countries and around the world. So these are my 3 points.
yeah, thank you very much. I want to remind that our audience can ask their questions. And then after this interview, you can watch the video on LinkedIn events, also in YouTube, my channel. and you can ask your questions on there also. I will share with Helmut in sometimes. My last question is coming about how could you give us some examples of how Vision Zero has been successfully implemented in various industries? Additionally, do you have any personal insights or experiences you'd like to share with us?
I think I shared already these three
Yeah.
points. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think this is enough for this evening, for
Yeah.
this interview. But let me mention another success story. We have a good cooperation with the international lime producers. There is an international sector, industrial sector, and they have an organization. And together with them, we developed a concept to establish a Vision Zero award scheme for this industry. So in that field, they share the good practices. They give awards to the best ideas coming from the workplace basic level. So this is another good example, and I think I mentioned already the different country approaches and the coal mine approach. So we have a lot of good examples.
Yeah, I will share some comments from our audience now. It's coming from the audience. And James Ebier, maintenance manager from LinkedIn, he shared. Thank you for sharing with us, he said. And Nayab Sultan is a expert in United Nations. Thank you for the invite, he said. And Saleh Bader, industrial hygiene experts, what are the suggestions for KPI that matches your concept of Vision Zero concept? He asked.
Yeah, I think this question goes to the leading indicators, to the proactive leading indicators. I think we have to continue with the lagging indicators. So I don't say that the accident rates, the fatalities, the diseases, please include the diseases in your thinking, not only accident prevention, are still very important indicators. But we also have to look to the proactive indicators, to the leading indicators. And I would like to recommend to have a look to this document. You can find it at the visionzero.global website. For example, we have to count how the management team is visible at the workplaces, is not just sitting in the office and dealing with charts, but is really visible. So, for example, how many safety walks are they doing? How many do they attend training for safety at health at well? So these kind of leading indicators should be really indicators for the future.
Yeah, sure. And other question. Eleazar Robles shared thanks for the invitation, connecting from Wisconsin, USA, and he is asking, do you conduct Vision Zero audits? He asking.
I would say not yet. We have a work plan where we want to develop the concept, the general concept, to perform such an audit. There are some approaches. For example, India is already doing something. So there is a request that people are requesting for this kind of audits. And we are also working on a solution with AI to use all the documents we have to make a kind of self-assessment or self-confirmation. but finally we would like to give it based on our concept, on the general rules for these audits, to national bodies, because the ISA has not the capacity to really perform all these audits. So we need a lot of partners. And this is the idea to go forward with this Vision Zero audits. So I think we will publish something maybe in some months.
Yeah. And I will read some comments. Müge Çınar from Turkey and from LinkedIn. I think Vision Zero audits are able to improve everywhere in the world. She's smiling. Mashfik from LinkedIn. Very interesting and important topic. It should be part of lessons in everywhere, he's saying. And Gerald Biaruhanga, this is worthy listening. He liked, I think. Thank you very much, Gerald. Dr. Ashraf Ali Qureshi from LinkedIn, appreciated. Orkun Demirtay, dear Helmut, thank you for your time and giving us hope for a change. I wonder how you achieve success with golden rules when upper management don't accept and support the way you show them. Is there a secret weapon you use to pursue them? He's asking.
Yeah, this is, I think, is a very good question. And this is a weak point we very often are facing, that our experts, our safety officers, they have to knock at the door of the CEO, of the top management, and either they open the door or not. Yeah. So my experience is, if we have a chance to talk and we find the right buttons of the people, everybody has a different button. So we must be prepared how to convince them. Some need fatality, and then they have to go to the family and ring the bell and say, I have very bad message. And then they start to change, to move. Some see the economic benefit behind. Every accident, every disease is a huge cost factor. And and you have to make additional turnover just to compensate those accidents. Some say this is my social responsibility. So I think we have to learn how to convince the CEOs and the managers, but the time is good for us, yeah, because if you want to go to a bank and you say I need a credit, and the banks more and more will ask, how is your company performing? Yeah, what is it, a good company? Is it a bad company? Another way to change the situation is to activate business relations. So I think we should make better business with better safety and better health. The issue of the global supply chains, all of this.
Yeah, sure. And Saleh Bader asking, giving some comments. Good concept, look workable across. I have a question about the challenge for occupational health in comparison to safety, in light of the fact that occupational illness are mostly developed over years, he said.
Yeah, we have in the Vision Zero strategy, we have 3 pillars. Safety is the traditional pillar. Health is the undervalued pillar. And the innovative pillar is well-being. And well-being is the synonym for psychological health of the worker. So it's two pillars are focusing on health. And I fully agree if you say it is undervalued, because if we look to the figures published by the ILO, I think 2.4 million people die because of exposures to chemicals and dust and all of this every year, and maybe it's still underestimated. And we have 400,000 fatal accidents. So we must focus much more on health than in the past.
Sure, exactly. And Nayab Sultan, great discussion. Thank you for facilitating such an interesting discussion. Thank you, Nayab, for your kind words. Joyce, say my master thesis study at University of Johannesburg is about safety leading indicators, still collecting data. We wish you success in your master thesis. And the last sentences from Augustine, very insightful topic, K direction for global HSE leaders. I want to say very, very thanks to you, Helmut. You are a very good leader. You are very helpful for young organizations. You are opening the door to introduce and implement themselves. Thank you very much for leading people and organizations and everybody. You are a very insightful leader, and we are very proud to see you in these interviews. I am giving the last sentences to you to finish this interview. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was a pleasure and an honor to talk to you. I think we can continue talking for 2 more hours, but let's make a break now. Yeah. And I would say we have to be emotional in this topic. It's not a bureaucracy. We must use our brain, our common sense, and we have to keep it simple. This is my last word.
Sure, sure. For workers, for everybody. And I can say that we want to see you in our future interviews or academic meetings. Thank you very much and have a nice